Hi, this is Lorraine with Chat and Craft with Lorraine Tierney. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. We are going to make a card. Let me turn my volume down, sorry. We are going to make a Peaceful Cabin Fun Fold card. And I'm just checking on Facebook to make sure I see myself and to make sure I'm in the screen well. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I have a little cord showing back there. There we go. So this is the card that we're going to make. It opens like that. It stands up and it has a spot on the back where you can write a short message. If you're not in favor of writing long, lengthy messages, this is the layout for you. So let me show you how we're going to make this card. We're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, and all of these dimensions will be on my blog, and I'll put them in the description of this video also, so don't worry about writing that down. Don't score it in half. It's so hard to stop myself from turning it and scoring it. It's just 8.5 by 5.5 to start. And then you need 2 pieces of patterned paper that are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. These are going to go on either side. The one in the middle is a little bit wider. It's 2 inches by 5 1/4. Hi MJ, hi Mary. And then we're going to use a couple of the Stitched So Sweetly rectangles. This is the largest rectangle in Merry Merlot, and then the next size in white. A piece of 2 inch by 5 1/4 will go in the back after we stamp it, and then I'll show you how I did the trees and my cabin. Now I've left my cutter on the other table. Here we go. So I'm going to start with scoring this, and this is the toughest part of the whole card. It's really pretty easy. We're going to start by scoring at 2 inches, then at 3 1/8, then 5 3/8. Make sure I get that right. And then at 6 1/2, which I'll put my arm out to do that. I don't like the half on this because it's right where the arm folds. I forgot. So 6 1/2, this piece of paper is 8 1/2. So 6 1/2 is 2 inches again from this side. So I'm just going to cut it. Score it on this side. I turned it around. Okay, so that's all the scoring and the cutting that we will need to do right now. Now it's kind of like, where'd it go? Kind of like 2 Z folds, and it folds back from those center 2 places. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to fold it. And I didn't find my bone folder before I started, so I'll just use my finger. And then I'm going to fold the other center score line back. Okay, and then fold those. Okay. And if you don't fold them the right way the first time, that's okay. Just turn them around and line them up. So that's the basis of your card. We'll put our patterned paper on next. And I did cut my patterned paper from one piece side by side. I don't know if anybody would ever notice whether the pattern lined up or not, but I do like to try to line up that pattern. I feel like I'm sliding all over the place here. I'm not quite sure why things are sliding so much. So I'm thinking a lot about Christmas cards these days. I don't know if you are as well. I did see somebody post that there are only 16 Fridays until Christmas. So that means 16 weeks until Christmas. So we need to get going on our Christmas cards. Takes a while to plan them and then make sure you have everything you need. The worst thing is a snowy day or a rainy day. Your plans are canceled and you don't have what you need to start your Christmas cards. You have time, but not what you need. So there is the basic part of the card. I'm going to do my sentiment for the back next, because if I don't, I'll glue that piece on. So this is the Peaceful Cabin stamp set. Obviously it has a cabin, a fence, some trees, a little fox, and it has sentiments that work for Christmas and for other things. Just a nice thank you card. Your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. Thank you, for you, wishing you the best, and may you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. So we're going to use these two today. So let's get this one out. It does have dies also in the bundle, and I used the tree die and the cabin die. I'll show you those in a little bit. All right, so I want to try to get this stamp straight on my block, so I use my grid paper to line up my block, and then I try to get one line of the text lined up. I'm looking at the lines through here. I can't get my head under there, but once I have this lined up, I try to get the text lined up. And then I usually stamp on a piece of scrap paper to see if I was straight. So let's try that. This is my cheat sheet for my scoring dimensions. That looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to do it near the top. There we go. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season, right? Not the running around craziness, but the peace. So now I'm going to put this in the back. Okay. Now, when you're putting or thinking about your two rectangles for the front, I have not glued these together yet, you want to make sure that they're not any wider than the card when it's folded up, because that's going to fit in an envelope just like that. It goes into the envelope this way. So if you stick off too far on either side, that's not going to be good. So I'm going to wait just a minute to put that on, and I'm going to do my little sentiment in the corner of this rectangle. Just going to stamp wishing you the best up in that corner. It's hard to really see if I'm getting it straight because I can't get quite under the camera, but that looks pretty good. Now, I stamped my trees. The 3 trees are on one stamp. So I stamped my 3 trees. This is just a piece of scrap paper that I happened to cut my rectangle out of. And then I used this to cut around the trees. It's much easier than fussy cutting. And you'll see that it extends, so you could have this go across a landscape card and be like a hill or something else. It's very pretty, but that's going to stick out on my card, and the trees are too far apart for my card. So I'm just going to cut off this part, and it's okay if I have a little extra there. It'll give me something to glue it on. And I'm going to cut out this one and move it just a little bit closer and under that word. And the same thing with the house. You could just fussy cut the whole house. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the die cuts out these little windows, which is very nice. I would not be able to get my scissors in there to cut those windows out. So it cuts just like that and gives you those windows. But now I'm going to do the same thing with a little fussy cutting. I'm going to leave a white border all the way around, and I'm going to move my paper rather than moving my scissors. Oh, and if you hear noise, I'm sorry, but my husband just came in the back door. Hopefully he'll be quiet, and he'll figure out that we're doing some Facebook stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these on here. The trees I'm going to glue flat, and the peaceful cabin I will pop up on dimensionals. And I'm taking care not to hang over the sides of this white rectangle. There you go, and now I'll put some dimensionals. Well, I think before I put the cabin on, I will put this on here, because the cabin gives me a little extra room. I feel like my tree is tipping just a little bit. Let's see if we can, okay. So let's glue this on. And now we'll do the cabin. It gives me just a little bit more room for the cabin because I have a little border there that I can take advantage of. Okay. And I don't want my bottoms of my trees to show, but I do like the way through the porch you can see a little bit of tree there. I do like that. And then I'll fold up my card and put some glue on the center here and lay this right across that. A couple people did put it down lower. If you had some die cuts that you had back there, you could do that. This is the card that we did at our Tuesday night Zoom class this week. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue in the center here and hope that I get it pretty good. Checking to make sure my sides are okay. No glue hanging out. And that is how you make that card. So I hope that you will give this a try. Like I said, I'll put all the dimensions in the description here, and it's also on my blog, which is www.chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. I just want to remind you that there is a join special going on with Stampin' Up! Right now. I'd love to have you be part of my team, and Stampin' Up! Is giving away a free bundle to everybody that joins right now. I have lots of information on my blog about that. And most importantly, if there's any way I can help you make cards at home so that you can share joy and happiness with others and yourself, I think card making will make you very happy as well. I would love to help you. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.